Roman Reigns to be removed from WWE Clash in Paris for one big reason? Exploring the possibility. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jennifer, have a nice day? For the WWE family latest news update. Please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Thank you. Roman Reigns is set to go one-on-one with Bronson Reed this Sunday at the Clash in Paris Premium Live event. On the last Raw before the PLE, the OTC1 sent a strong message to Reed and the Vision. However, by doing so, he may have gotten himself in trouble. The 40-year-old's actions on Monday may have major implications for the forthcoming event. In a surprising turn of events, WWE could remove the OTC1 from the Clash in Paris card at the last minute. Roman Reigns opened this week's episode of Raw in front of a very vocal crowd in Birmingham, who acknowledged their tribal chief loudly. Reigns was interrupted by his former Wiseman, Paul Heyman, and his opponent for this Sunday, Bronson Reed. After a heated exchange, Reigns decided that he didn't want to wait for Clash in Paris and confronted Reed directly, leading to an intense standoff. Security had to intervene in this chaotic moment between the two powerhouses. Unsurprisingly, the security team had difficulty keeping them apart. Before they were eventually separated, Reigns and Reed overpowered several guards, something that may not sit well with WWE management. However, one could argue that this type of confrontation isn't uncommon in WWE. So why would management consider taking action? Well, only because Reigns didn't stop there. Later in the night, when Braun Breaker was making his way out for the main event bout against LA Knight, the OTC1 ambushed Breaker and Bronson Reed backstage. Reigns was eventually escorted out by security, but the disruption had already affected the show. Not only did he get involved in the earlier confrontation, but he also impacted the main event storyline by attacking Breaker, leaving him at a disadvantage. Because of this, management may be forced to take action against Roman Reigns and potentially remove him from the Clash in Paris card. Of course, this would be done as part of the storyline to build more intrigue around the bout between Reigns and Reed at the European event this Sunday. It is highly unlikely that a star of Roman Reigns' caliber would miss Clash in Paris after being advertised. That being said, this scenario is only speculative. Meanwhile, Jey Uso will have a chance to regain the World Heavyweight Championship at Clash in Paris in a fatal four-way match against defending champions Seth Rollins, LA Knight, and CM Punk. On this week's Raw, the Yeet Master was seen talking to his cousin, Roman Reigns, about his upcoming title match and the challenges surrounding it. The original tribal chief has come a long way from manipulating and using his family to his advantage, as he instead offered support and words of encouragement to Jey Uso. Jey took Reigns' advice to heart and delivered a strong message to LA Knight and CM Punk to stand tall in the closing moments of the show. Now the question is, will the Yeet Master be able to win the World Heavyweight Championship at Clash in Paris? Only time will tell. Turned out to be far more eventful than anyone imagined, especially for Roman Reigns, who was visibly stunned by the crowd's reaction. The show opened with the OTC via YouTube, who received a thunderous welcome from the Birmingham crowd. Riding the wave of energy, he hinted at having some big plans for this year and the next, a tease that only excited fans further. His words brought back memories of his days leading the Bloodline, though the moment quickly shifted into unexpected drama. Reigns reflected on how much he had lost, even admitting that Cody Rhodes predicted it all more than a year earlier. But when Rhodes' name was mentioned, the entire arena erupted in boos, something that caught Reigns completely off guard. The word interesting summed up his disbelief that the WWE Universe's perception of Rhodes had shifted so dramatically. Reigns tried to change the topic by speaking about Seth Rollins and his vision, but it was impossible to ignore the undertone of WWE's creative direction, Rhodes being positioned as the company's biggest star, often at the expense of other top names. Rhodes has undoubtedly earned respect as a performer from winning against Rollins while injured to back-to-back Royal Rumble victories. Yet those same milestones have sparked frustration among fans, as it feels like WWE continues to give him endless opportunities, while wrestlers like Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and Kevin Owens are pushed further down the card. For many in the audience, this has dulled the excitement around Rhodes' long-running, finish the story arc with Reigns. On social media, fans made it clear they were tired of seeing others sidelined in favor of the American Nightmare. At WrestleMania 39, Rhodes looked destined to claim victory, but interference from Solo Sikoa handed Reigns the win. Rhodes pressed on, chasing the undisputed WWE Championship while building his comeback around nostalgia and redemption. Winning the 2024 Royal Rumble seemed like fate aligning until The Rock returned and stole his spotlight. That twist set the stage for a personal rivalry, with words exchanged and tensions escalating. Eventually, it was decided that Night 1 of WrestleMania XL would see Rhodes and Rollins team up against The Rock and Reigns, with the winners choosing the stipulation for Night 2. The Bloodline prevailed, forcing Rhodes into a Bloodline rules match against Reigns in the main event. Night 2 delivered spectacle and drama in equal measure. Reigns unleashed his full arsenal, multiple spears and Superman punches, with the Bloodline providing constant interference. Still, Rhodes refused to stay down, kicking out each time to thunderous reactions. Then came the turning point. Seth Rollins, clad in his iconic Shield gear, emerged to confront Reigns and reignite their long-standing rivalry. Distracted by anger, Reigns allowed Rhodes the perfect opening. Seizing the moment, Rhodes hit his finisher and finally dethroned Reigns, becoming the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. The fallout from Raw shows how complex Rhodes' rise has become. While WWE Creative continues to present him as the face of the modern era, the audience's reactions suggest cracks in the foundation. Reigns, stunned by the boos targeting his rival, may have said it best with one word: interesting. Because in WWE, the only thing certain is that the story is never truly finished. Reigns' match against Reed in France will see him wrestle on the continent for the first time in over 2 years. The Tribal Chief's last match in Europe was a tag team match alongside Solo Sikoa against Jimmy and Jey Uso. That match took place in July 2023 and saw Reigns get pinned clean for the first time in over 3 years, dating back to 2020. WWE has appeared in Europe several times since Money in the Bank, bringing huge PLEs to Glasgow, Berlin, and Lyon, but Reigns has not wrestled on any of them. The Tribal Chief did appear in the UK for SmackDown in April 2025, but he didn't wrestle on the London show. Reigns has appeared more than ever in a short amount of time leading up to and after SummerSlam, but he's set for another hiatus. The Tribal Chief is set to leave WWE after Clash in Paris to film Street Fighter, where he'll be portraying the character of Akuma. According to C-Scoops, Reigns will film the video game adaptation for 4 weeks beginning on September 2nd. That will likely rule out Reigns up until Survivor Series War Games, where he's expected to compete in the stipulation against Seth Rollins' Vision. "Hold up," Reigns began. "This guy's Samoan? Why didn't anybody ever tell me? That means we share the same heritage. Hey, so maybe we should start this thing over, huh? How about I give you one more shot since we're cut from the same fabric? How about you come down here, return my shoes, apologize to my people for wasting our time, acknowledge me, and don't ever send disrespect my way again." The two confronted each other, and Reigns stood tall ahead of their match at Clash in Paris. WWE security came out to separate them, but Reigns ultimately got the last laugh. Fans will have to wait a few more days to see who wins their first singles match. Reigns and Reed are days away from their first ever singles match against each other. They will face off at Clash in Paris, WWE's upcoming PLE. Previously, they had shared the ring during the 2024 Men's War Games match. Reigns led the OG Bloodline, the USOs, Jey and Jimmy, Sami Zayn, and CM Punk against Solo Sikoa's new Bloodline, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu. They enlisted the help of Reed as a 5th member. Reed is of Samoan descent, but he is not part of the anoa'i family. Since then, Reed has joined his former rival Seth Rollins' faction, the Vision. Reed and Braun Breaker are the two younger stars learning under Rollins and the Oracle, Paul Heyman. Over the last couple of months, Reed has been confronting Reigns, even stealing his shoes after these encounters. He has made the Shulafala, a play on the Ulafala Reigns wears as the